Everyone, and thanks for joining me for race 2 of the Ultimate Racing League Sunday Championship with the League 3 guys here in New South Wales in Australia. We're at a place called Bathurst, and it is the Mount Panorama circuit. Half the track set in the mountain, and a very tricky section it is as well, a very tricky track, full stop. And we saw some great racing in race 1, and these guys really made a notoriously hard track look very easy. So hoping for some more in race 2. Now it is a sort of a half reverse grid. I'm not even going to try and explain what it all means, and I'm sure you're not bothered. You just want to see some racing. So we'll run down the grid then. And we've got DB in pole position. We've got Maltese in second. Thingamajig is third. Viking is fourth on the grid. Pete is fifth. 6 is Phaser. 7th is Enzo Jack. 8 is Aussie Rooster. Frowny is 9th. Wayne G 10th. Bazza 11th. Harry Poppins is 12th. And race 1 winner is Scott. And he is now 13th. So all the way at the back and has got it all to do. Now the other thing with this race is, if I get the right camera, there we go. The other thing with this race is there is a mandatory pit stop. And medium and hard tyres have to be used. Now I believe it's for a minimum of 2 laps, so you can run them any order you like, and you can run them as long as you like, as long as it is a minimum of 2 laps. So we'll get this one underway. Now what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to start at the back, and we'll follow these guys, because when the race starts, some of these guys have not even gone around turn 23 yet. So there we go, you can see, I think it's Wayne G and Frowny about the first ones to go around that turn, so it's a bit of a tricky one actually. So when the race starts, the 4 guys at the back have got turn 23 to cope with, and then turn 1, so yeah, it's all a bit tricky as they all line up. What a great shot that is as well, showing you the climb up towards Griffin's Bend at turn 2, and that's the entrance into the mountain. As DB takes us up there now, this fast right-hander. Now I've been told there's something with DB's controller that whenever he tries to turn left or right or something like that, it causes the lights to flash when he presses down. It's very easy to press down on the thumbstick apparently. I always thought it was an electrical fault on the car, but apparently not. So as he tries to turn, he will press down on the thumbstick, and that's what's causing the lights to flash. Apparently. Oh, as he takes a bit of a shortcut across the grass. Oh, and he's just pulled up. He's decided to try and move out of everybody's way. Very dirty tyres as well. So let's just see what happened there. Yeah, he's got onto the grass, and once you're on there, it's difficult to get off. Yeah. Does the right thing actually, he tries to stay out of the way. He doesn't want to cause an accident by just pulling straight back onto the track. So that's unfortunate for DB all the way to the back, but what has happened is it's allowed Maltese now to take the lead as they all come trundling into the dip, and now then Viking getting caught up in that little scuffle. It was always going to happen when you get that many cars trying to get into such a little place. They're all bumper to bumper at the minute. I'm sure the guys will spread out as they come down Conrad Straight. Now all of these guys are going to be picking up the slipstream of poor old Maltese at the front. Thingamajig is now putting in a challenge, so Maltese and Thingamajig going side by side. It is a just flat out drag race down towards the chase, and it's just a case now of who's got the biggest nuts when it comes to the braking. As they come down towards the braking zone now, Thingamajig hard on the brakes, Maltese hard on the brake. Oh, and Thingamajig, a great move to get himself up there in the lead of this race, although Maltese is fighting back as they come down the hill, still going down towards Murray's Corner at turn 23. Thingamajig still in front. Maltese in second. He's being challenged by Pete as they head towards Hell's Corner. This is exactly what Thingamajig wants. He wants the guys behind him to start fighting so that he can get away. Phaser's in there as well. It looks like all the liveries are now back on the car, so the guys in the paint shops have been working hard in between the races to get all the liveries and back on the car, and the car's looking fantastic. So Pete now moving to second, Maltese is third. He's coming under attack from Phaser. Phaser having a look up the inside, although I've got a feeling he'll back out a little bit. No, he didn't. Phaser kept going, and Maltese and Phaser side by side into Griffin's Benz. Fantastic racing from these guys. I'm going to have a look at the tyres because it does make a difference, and Thingamajig, he's on the hard tyres as well, and he is actually leading this race, so he is having a great start. Peter on the hards as well, Phaser on the mediums, so Phaser really needs to get by these guys and get himself a bit of distance between himself and them, because all the while he's sitting there in third, his tyres are wearing down, and it's going to give the guys around him an edge, so Phaser needs to get by Pete and Thingy. Maltese, he's on the hards as well, so 3 out of the first 4 are all on hards. Well, 5 now, because Crowley's on the hards as well. Wayne G has gone for the mediums, another one, exactly the same as Phaser. He'll be looking to try and get by these guys. This is very frustrating for him. He needs to be away from these and putting in some decent laps, get some distance between himself and them. Bazza down on mediums, Viking on the hards, Aussie Rooster, he's on the mediums. Aussie Rooster just going by, using the slipstream of Bazza in front of him, and then Aussie Rooster trying to make a move on Bazza as well, so he picked up a good slipstream in there, did Aussie Rooster, although Bazza's come back at him. Viking's in there as well. Aussie just manages to hold on to 8th, he couldn't quite get the move done on Bazza, but he certainly got it done on Viking, although Viking is fighting him back. Viking having a look at the inside as they come to turn 23. Now, a lot of cars diving into the pits now. I just saw Pete's gone in there. We'll have a look, see who's in there in a minute. We're just going to follow these guys through. Aussie in 4th, Viking in 5th now. They've calmed down a little bit. So, into the pits comes Peter. Thingamajig's in, Frowny's in, Molepiece, Harry Poppins, Enzo Jack, Scott. So, most of the guys on the hard tyres have come in. Phaser now on the mediums has got himself in front, which is exactly where he needs to be. Wayne G just behind him, also on the mediums. Bazza on the mediums, Aussie Rooster on the mediums. So yeah, Viking is the only one on the hard tyres, I think, that has stayed out. So he's decided he's going to do another couple of laps. Fuel might be an issue as well for some of these guys. We shall see as the race progresses. We are only on lap 3. And Phaser takes us up into the mountain as he comes through Quarry Corner, up through Frog Hollow. This sweeping left-hander, barriers all over the place. You have to be very careful when you get onto these curbs. It doesn't settle the car. Through the parks, into the S's and into the dipper goes Phaser. Hard on the brakes, you can see Wayne G desperate to try and catch up with Phaser. Wayne G would love to take over the lead of this race, try and get some distance between himself and the guys behind. Although it may just pay him tyre-wise just to sit behind Phaser for a couple of laps. Do a bit of fuel saving and also help with his tyres, but I'm sure that's not in Wayne G's nature. If he sees the opportunity, he will go for it. So Phaser has got to be have his wits about him and may have to go defensive. So Wayne G currently with the fastest lap at 2:17.9 as they come to the chase, and Wayne G right up the backside of Phaser's Suzuki Swift now. Still going down. I mentioned it in the race 1, it's 174 metre height difference between the lowest point and the highest point on this track, and they're now at the very low point, which is the start finish straight, and as soon as they go around Hell's Corner at turn 1, we are starting the climb back up towards the mountain. So Phaser doing a good job at the minute. Wayne G in 2nd, Bazza in 3rd, Aussie Rooster in 4th. Then we've got DB. Viking has now decided to come into the pits, hasn't done one extra lap to the rest of the guys who started on hard. Molepiece in 9th. Then we've got Scott, Enzo Jack, Pete, and then as I say Viking in the pits. But back up at the pointy end, is Phaser. He is fighting hard to keep Wayne G behind him, doing a great job at the minute. Wayne G getting very up close and personal. Let's jump on board with Wayne G as we come up through Quarry Corner and then onto Frog Hollow, into Solomon Park, then McPhillamy Park. Oh, now then, is Wayne G gonna have a look? No, he's not, not quite. And then we go into the S's, obviously S's for a reason, and then into the Dipper, and it's this big drop there. Cannot settle the car actually, so these guys doing a good job. Into Forest Elbow at turn 18, and it's all about the exit here. You need a really good exit to stay in touch with the car in front, and it looks like Phaser and Wayne G both got a good exit there, but also so did Bazza. Now Bazza picking up the slipstream of both cars in front, Wayne G picking up the slipstream of Phaser, and you can see how it's working. It really is pulling that car in now. So Wayne G is going to be expected to pull out. Yeah, he's going for it. Oh, as Phaser tries to shut the door on him, but hard on the brakes goes Wayne G as he got round. Oh, just about. He got the car stopped, but not in time, and that's actually cost him, because Phaser's carried on through in first position, and his countryman Bazza has now gone through into second. So rare mistake from Wayne G. Left that move just that little bit too late at the chase, and now he's got it all to do again and catch up to the two guys in front of him as Bazza starts to challenge Phaser. And yeah, Bazza into the slipstream of Phaser. Phaser again can't really defend against that. It's the slipstream that's helping Bazza out, so Phaser will just let Bazza go through, and he will just slot in behind him. Let's get the right camera, shall we? So into Griffins they go then for the fifth time, and we now have a new leader, and that is Bazza. Phaser just having a little bit of a look at the wall as we went through Griffins, and now that's allowed Wayne G to get right up to the back of Phaser again. So Wayne G, he'll still be reeling from that mistake on the previous lap at the chase, and he'll want to make up for that. He'll want to get by Phaser now, and he doesn't want to let Bazza get too far away. Doesn't fancy it there as they go through the park. Now Wayne G, I think he's going to do the same again. He's just going to hold off through the S's, down through the Dipper, look for a good exit out of Forest Elbow. We'll just stay with these guys for the next couple of turns, because I think Wayne G's plan is to try and overtake Phaser on Conrad Straight, but he's going to have to try and get that move done before they get to the chase. He doesn't want to do the same as he did before. All the while though that Wayne G can't get by Phaser, Bazza is getting further and further up the road. A great shot of the car, isn't it, with Phasers. So Wayne G is in the slipstream. It's going to be about the same place as it was before, so he may just decide to back out this time, and he does. Still putting the pressure on Phaser though. Aussie Rooster in fourth, so while Phaser and Wayne G are having a bit of a scrap to see who can take P2, then Aussie Rooster is catching up with every turn, so he's very soon he's going to be joining in that little party. He fancies himself up on the podium as well as Aussie Rooster. Frowny down in fifth. He's a little way off the guys in front, although they are still to make a pit stop. DB, he's in sixth. Thingamajig seventh, so a good race so far for DB and Thingamajig. Scott in eighth, winner of race one. Then we've got Harry Poppins. Remember, these guys have all stopped. They started on the hards, and they made a stop, get on the mediums, which is why they are where they are. Enzo Jack down in 10th, Molepiece 11th, Viking is 12th. He did an extra lap, didn't he, on the hard tyres, but eventually came in and is now on the mediums, and he's got Pete breathing all over the back of his car in 13th. So this could develop into a good little scrap for P11 between Molepiece, Viking and Pete. But back up to the top, and Bazza well, he's starting to run away with it a little bit, isn't he? The gap certainly opened up. Phaser's still holding off Wayne G. So Phaser fancies this one, doesn't he? He wants to get on the podium. I remember the front three, in fact, it may even be the front four, have not pitted yet. I can't remember if Flowney has. I'm not sure, but definitely the front four have not pitted. And we are halfway through this first race. Now they're on medium tyres, so they want to go as far as they can. If they can make it to the end of lap 10, that would be ideal for them, actually, because then they've only got 2 laps to do on the hard tyres. I think a lot of it could be fuel dependent. I'm looking at the fuel on Baz's car. He's on lap 6, and the fuel gauge just showing just under half. So yeah, the fuel could come into play, but at the minute Baz is looking comfortable. He has got a bit of breathing space. Phaser's still holding on to second. He is doing a brilliant job, isn't he, against Wayne G. Now that is not an easy task, keeping the likes of Wayne G and Aussie Rooster behind you, but Phaser has managed to do it for about the last 3 laps. So he is loving it out there. I bet the sweat is absolutely pouring off him, but he is having a fantastic race. So come on, Phaser, let's get you on that podium. We're all rooting for you. The crowds are out there somewhere. Aussie Rooster in 4th. Just can't quite get close enough to the back of Wayne G to put him under any pressure at the minute. Although Wayne G, I'm sure, will be having one eye on the mirror at Aussie, getting closer and closer. We're going to keep an eye on this battle, because I think this is where it's all happening at the minute. We will have a quick look down, see if there's anything else. Thingamajig in 6th. Now he's got a little bit of breathing space. Back to Scott, just behind him. Scott and Harry Poppins, they're having their own little fight for P7, but I think they will be onto the back of Thingamajig very shortly. So Thingamajig, I'm sure, will be aware of the 2 guys chasing him down. Then we've got Enzo Jack in 9th, Viking is 10th, then we've got Pete, Molepiece and DB. So yeah, the battle really at the minute is Phaser, Wayne G and Aussie Rooster, although Aussie does look like he's lost a 10th or 2 back to Wayne G. On board with Wayne G again. Now then, the slipstream kicking in. It gets this little kink in the road, and you really need to get the move done before you get there, because you haven't got a lot of time from that turn down to the entry into the chase. And like we saw Wayne G do earlier, if you leave your braking that little bit too late, you run the risk of ending up on the grass. So Wayne G would, as I say, really love to get a little bit closer to Phaser as he comes out of Forest Elbow, I think, so he can get that move done before we get to get down towards the chase. But at the minute, Phaser having the drive of his life in P2. Now remember, these guys have not stopped yet. Aussie Rooster still sitting there in 4th. He's watching all of this happening in front of him, loving the fight that the guys are having, because it is allowing him to catch up. We're just going to go down to Scott and Harry Poppins. They are now almost onto the back of Thingamajig, so it's Thingamajig's turn to do the defensive bit. Jump on board with Thingamajig, and we'll have a look in the mirror, and we can see Scott coming down on us now. Scott pulls to the inside as we just approach Griffins. Is he going to get it done or not? Yeah, Scott just goes through there. I think Thingamajig just left him enough room and allowed Scott to go through. Didn't really want to fight it there. So Scott through. Thingamajig into 7th. He's got Harry Poppins behind him. So Harry Poppins will be he'll be trying to get by his way. He doesn't want to let Scott get too far away. Thingamajig doing a great job though. Just trying to remove the wing mirror there. I know I left mine up in the mountain somewhere. So into the dipper we go. Thingamajig doing a good job of keeping the car under control through that section. Very easy to lose it there. And then hard on the power now. It looks like Harry Poppins has got a great exit out of Forest Elbow, and he's coming by with a little bit of help of slipstreaming, but a good exit was what was needed, and that's what Harry Poppins has got. But Thingamajig has just slotted in behind him. He's picking up the slip now, so Thingamajig may well be making a move on Harry Poppins as they come down towards the chase, but he's decided not to. Now then, we've got somebody into the pits. Let's go and have a look. It is one of our leaders. It is Wayne G. Well, we have had a bit of a change, because let's just see where well, I don't want to go back too far, but it looks like Aussie Rooster, Phaser's in third. So Wayne G did get by, but has picked up a half a second penalty, and he's just about to serve that. Phaser in third. Now then, will the momentum carry Phaser through? It's going to be close, isn't it? But I think Wayne G might just about hold on to P2. So Wayne G did get past Phaser as they go down towards the chase. Phaser's on the inside. Oh, just slots in behind Wayne G. Wayne G has to go across the grass. Oh, more than once. Wayne G really kicking up the grass there. Now it's 3 wide down towards Morris. No, Wayne G decides he's had enough. He wants to come into the pits, and he's going to get his tyres changed. He doesn't want to do any more battling, so it's Wayne G into the pits. Phaser has stayed out. He's in third. Aussie Rooster in second. He stayed out. And Bazza still leading this race. He has stayed out as well. So Wayne G looking for the undercut as far as pit stop strategy goes. So let's see if that pays off. Not even reached his pit crew yet. So Wayne G going down the order now as everybody else goes streaming through. Enzo Jack up into 8th, Thingamajig 7th, Harry Poppins is 6th. Remember, these guys have stopped. Scott is in 5th, then we've got Crowley in 4th. Then we've got Phaser, Aussie and Bazza all still yet to stop. But Bazza, quite a nice lead actually. If we look in the background, we just saw the headlights of Aussie Rooster, so he's not that close to Bazza. So yeah, a good lead for Bazza. Is it enough though to get him back out in front when he makes that pit stop? And when will it be? Now the tyres at the minute are looking okay. Fuel, he's got a quarter of a tank, so he may well be able to make it to the end of lap 10, which I'm sure is the plan, so that you only do 2 laps on the hard tyres. Aussie Rooster, he's well, he's got more than enough fuel as Aussie. Maybe a bit of slipstream in and short shifting, I'm not sure, but he's got more than enough fuel to get him to the end of lap 10. Phaser, well, he's not been sparing the fuel at all, has he? And he's got just over a quarter of a tank, so I still think he can make it to the end of lap 10 though. Well, that's your front 3 at the minute then. Bazza, Aussie Rooster and Phaser. A little bit of a gap in between Bazza and Aussie Rooster. There is a decent gap. Then we've got a little gap between Aussie Rooster and Phaser. Let's just have a look and see whether Bazza's coming in. I don't think he is. No, he's not. Neither is Aussie, neither is Phaser. So those 3 staying out again. Frowny in 4th. No, I don't think Frowny is pitted either. I'm currently sitting in 4th. Then we've got Scott in 5th. Harry Poppins is 6th. Now Harry, we do know Harry has he's stopped, so he's looking good at the minute for a podium finish. When the 3 guys up at the front all decide to come in, then we've got Thingamajig in 7th. He's trying to hold off Enzo Jack as we head up the hill towards turn 2 and Griffin's Bend. Enzo Jack has gone purple in that sector. He's having a bit of a look at the inside of Thingamajig, but he can't quite get it done. But Thingamajig taking a very wide line through turn 2. Wayne G doing exactly the same, and Enzo Jack has now moved up into 7th ahead of Thingamajig. Maybe Thingamajig just eased off there to let Enzo Jack through. Wayne G having made his pit stop, and he's now on the hard tyres. He's on the chase after the guys up ahead. Talking of the guys up ahead, we will have to go up because I think that Bazza, Aussie Rooster and Phaser are all going to have to come in this lap, as will Frowny. So it will be Scott, I'm not sure, Scott pitting? I should write this down. If Scott has got to make a pit stop as well, then that's played right into Harry Poppins' hands, and starting on the hards and doing the early pit stop was absolutely the way to go. So we're just going to keep an eye on this as Bazza comes down the hill, gets into the pit lane sidings, and he's in. Aussie Rooster also, Phaser has also got to come in. Now then, Frowny, did Frowny come in? We'll just watch Frowny through. No, so Frowny must have already made his stop, so well done to him. So Frowny, well, he'll go up into first. I'm just going to look at the fuel to see if there's any fuel going in the guys' cars yet, and they're not. So Frowny takes over the lead. Scott moves up into 2nd. Harry Poppins is going to be 3rd. Still no fuel. Bazza's car, he's just taking on fuel now. Just enough to do the 2 laps for Bazza, but Harry Poppins goes through to 3rd. Bazza has rejoined in 4th, although he's got Enzo Jack, Aussie Rooster and Thingamajig chasing him down, as Thingamajig and Aussie Rooster go side by side up the hill. You can see the headlights are on. All of a sudden it's got dark. Somebody switched the lights out, and we're now in darkness. A few turns, and wow, it gets dark very quick, doesn't it, in Australia? But Thingamajig in 6th. Aussie Rooster in 7th, having made his pit stop. Phaser, well, Phaser's now moved up into 7th. He's got past Aussie Rooster, so well done to Phaser. Oh no, just as I say that, he has a bit of a scrape with the wall and drops himself back down to 8th. Wayne G in 9th. Well, Wayne G was doing a lot better than that, wasn't he? But he's in 9th, Viking is 10th, Pete 11th, Molpe's 12th, and DB down in 13th. So with our race leader at the minute, Frowny, having a great race as he just comes at the exit of the mountain through Forest Elbow and then starts the descent down Conrad Straight. Not many incidents in this race, I have to say. The guys have really ran this race well and really tamed this track. Fantastic racing from all of these guys. I was expecting to see a lot more bumps and scrapes, especially through the mountain section, but I've got to say, well done guys. It's absolutely brilliant, clean racing, and not many penalties handed out at all. Harry Poppins then in 3rd as the light really does fade, and we're getting very, very dark now. It does make it difficult through the mountain section as the fuel lights start to flash now as Bazza crosses the line to start the final lap. Thingamajig in 5th. Having a good race is Thingamajig, up to 5th, although he has got Enzo Jack right up his backside now, and I'm sure the slipstream will help Enzo Jack, so he's going to have to pull out. Remember, there is no bump drafting allowed, so Enzo Jack, whether he likes it or not, he's got to pull out and make the move on Thingamajig. So it is side by side up the hill towards Griffin's, still side by side. Enzo Jack just got his nose in front and is on the inside. Thingamajig going the long way round. It is the longer route, so Enzo Jack moves up into 5th, Thingamajig down into 6th, with Aussie Rooster chasing in 7th. Phaser down to 8th. Remember, he was leading for a lot of this race, was Phaser, having a fantastic fight as well with Wayne G, but well, he still is actually. So Phaser in 8th and Wayne G in 9th. Then we've got Viking in 10th, Pete 11th, Maltese 12th, and DB in 13th. So we're just going to go back up to our current race leader at the minute. It is Frowny, as it goes through the mountain section for the final time around turn 18. He'll start on down the hill through turn 19, and if you just look in the background you can see the headlights of Scott, but it looks like this could be Frowny's race. As they say, it is his to lose. So great tactics from Frowny, got it absolutely spot on. As he comes through the chase for the final time, you can just see Scott in the background there, but we're going to stay with Frowny as he comes down the hill towards the final turn at turn 23. Brilliant racing for Frowny, flash of the lights, yeah, he's pleased with that, and why not. So Frowny takes the win. Scott, he's going to cross the line in second, he's pleased with that. Harry Poppins across the line in third. Bazza is going to take fourth. Then we've got Enzo Jack in fifth. Thingamajig, brilliant racing from Thingy to take sixth. Aussie Rooster seventh. Phaser eighth. Wayne G ninth. Viking will come across the line in 10th. Pete 11th. Maltese 12th. And DB, he's still struggling up in the mountains, so really not his track, but it doesn't suit everybody. It is a tough track. It's a tough track to get right. It's an even tougher track to go quickly on, so DB is going to finish this one off. Next week we will be at Road Atlanta in America, so I hope you can join us for that. We're just going to follow DB. Well, push him along a little bit, shall we? So DB across the line in 13. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed these races, please remember to hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. If you could do so, that will help me out a lot, and I very much do appreciate it. I will catch you all very soon. Thanks for watching.